right, welcome back, everyone, for some Members First content. Well, it's usually Members First content because I try to get this out Sunday night for members and then Monday night for everybody else. But unfortunately, I fell behind again. Sorry, summertime hours. What are you going to do? I had to watch my son play 3 flag football games in the morning yesterday out in the blazing hot sun. Got myself a little bit of sunburn here on the old forearms as they had their playoffs. So they won and kept playing until they lost, which they unfortunately lost in the championships. But what are you going to do? Kids didn't care. They got over it pretty quickly and then spent the afternoon just playing together by the pool. So didn't help my arms that extra time out in the sun. But what it did help me do is get behind on my show work. So that's why I'm running behind doing this. So I'm recording this Monday evening to try to get this out as soon as possible for everybody. And then we'll try to catch up and get Chasing Ghosts out as normal tomorrow. Yeah, what are you going to do? Like I said, doing my best here, but I'm sure you guys don't mind if things run a little bit late. But I still wanted to make sure I got this out to you so this way you can get a jump on all of those new comic book day books that you should be keeping an eye on, because that's what this list is for. This is my list of books that I'm watching for this new comic book Wednesday. What is it, August 2nd? Yeah, August 2nd. Sure, some of these books will come out tomorrow, like the DC books will come out on Tuesday, August 1st, but it's still a little bit ahead of time, just so you know when you hit your shop, you know what to look for, what's been selling, what are other people talking about, etc. So with that, I won't hold you any longer. We're going to get right into the list right after the intro. Okay, let's see what we got this week for you. We do have a couple of books I would consider some buzz books, I think, or at least one, and see where we're at there. Yes, Marvel is at it again, and they plan on killing off yet another character. Granted, we already know Ms. Marvel has died and come back, but did you know they're also planning to get rid of Moon Knight in a couple of issues? I believe Moon Knight issue 28 is the one where they're going to get rid of him or replace him or some such nonsense, but we're building to that storyline, and we have it beginning here in issue 26. So keep an eye on this. See where things are going. Maybe it'll be a fun read. Maybe it'll be a fun story. Seeing how this all wraps up and see what happens to Mark Spector. You know, we'll see how they plan to replace him. How long will this last, etc. We know it's comics, so it probably won't last all that long, but you never know. So here's the cover A. We also got a cover B that you can look for. Then it's Kim Jacinto, if I'm saying the name right. There is some weird gods variant. I don't really know. I know there's some weird thing going on with Marvel, whatever, these new gods or something. I don't know. This is just a goofy looking cover. All I'm saying. I don't really want this Dimitri and Moon Knight cover. That's all I'm saying. Who's picking this one up? Because, like, oh, I really want this. Even if this is this character's first on a cover, who cares? I don't care. But maybe it's just me. Meanwhile, there is a 1 in 25 as well, which is actually kind of cool. I think it's a Perillo. So that's not bad, but it's not selling for above ratio or anything like that. So you should be able to get that at your shop if you're interested in it for the art. But this is a book I think that has a little bit of interest on it because we're leading into the death of Moon Knight. And you know, that sometimes can move the needle. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's why I put it here, because actually I'm kind of interested in it. It was borderline to be on my reading list, but I figured, you know what? It had enough going for it that I put it in this little buzz section that I created. But otherwise, I would have put it here in my reading list. And for my reading list this week, what I'm moving to the top of the pile is this Sacrificers book. I don't know. Seemed kind of interesting. Image, sci-fi. I've liked a few of the time. I mean, I'm not saying it's the next saga. I'm not even saying it's the next Seven to Eternity. I'm just saying I'm kind of curious and I'm kind of interested. I like the art, and I like the team. Rick Remender, good. Max, I can't say his name. I'm going to say it. Fumara. I'm going to mess that all up. But a lot of covers. I'm just going to say that right now. A lot of covers on this. I want to read it. I'm getting a couple. I think I'm getting the A and the B. So this is the A. Tedesco's got a pretty sweet B cover here as well, if you like Tedesco's art, which I do. But that's not it. There are a lot of really good covers, but God bless you if you try to collect them all. Ready? Brace yourself. We're going to run through the ratio lists. Let's start off with the easy one. 1 in 10. I think this is a Tula Lotte. Not bad. Kind of like it. But it's a 1 in 10. And you think, all right, that's not so bad. When you see how many other ratio variants there are, it won't matter. Like I do not expect any of these to increase in value because of the sheer volume of options. It's like Dynamite here. These are Dynamite books, it feels like. But no, this is Image. 1 in 10, Dualote. We do have this 1 in 15, Jenny Frizen. Kind of dig it, like the art. It's only a 1 in 15. Do you want a 1 in 20? We got one for you. We got this one right here. I think this is, I can't even remember. Matteo Scalera. I don't even remember all the artist names. So I'm just going to run through as best I can because we're not stopping here. We're going up in increments. 1 in 25. Oh, yeah. You bet your ass we got a 1 in 25. J.G. Jones, I believe, on this one. Maybe. Right? Looks like J.G. Jones. Again, I might be getting the names wrong as I run through this, but it's okay. There's so many more to go because we got a 1 in 30. Oh, you don't think 1 in 30 is enough? Let's up it again. Let's go 1 in 35. Yeah, let's have a 1 in 35 while we're at it. And let's cap it off. We have a capper. I know, would make sense if it was 1 in 40, but no, we're going to jump ahead. 1 in 50. So let's get that 1 in 50 right out there. Mike Mignola. I mean, pretty cool. Pretty awesome covers, but do we need so many? Couldn't we just have held some of this cover art for subsequent issues? Maybe? I don't know. I just think that's a bit overkill. There's no need to have a 1 in 10, a 1 in 15, a 1 in 20, 1 in 25, 1 in 30, 1 in 35, and a 1 in 50. 7 incentives and 2 regulars. 9 covers. Why not just make it 10? Where was the 10th? I'm sure there's a store exclusive out there or two that'll bring us up even further. But that said, I still want to read this book. I want to read this book. So we'll see if it's any good when it actually hits shelves this week. Now, brought this section back. We have the WTF section. What do I have for you to fit this? Well, for whatever reason, I know they've been doing this for months because that's the title, but every time I see one, it still gives me pause and I go, what is going on here? The Dog of War. I'm not reading it. I'm not a Star Trek guy either. I'm definitely not a Deep Space Nine guy, even on top of that. I don't know what this is all about. All I know is we just keep seeing dogs on these books for this Dog of War. I guess it's important, but seriously? This Borg dog? Do we need this? All right. I mean, it's kind of silly. It's kind of funny. Sure. But do we need this? This looks like a bad portrait done down the shore. You got this done at an amusement park? You want a little character sketch artist? I don't know. I don't get this. Who wants this? I know I have a marked cover price, but I don't know if there's a cover price. This might be an incentive for all I know. I mean, it might be. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you didn't like this portrait caricature, I got another one for you that I have in this section because I just don't get it. Now, I am not trying to besmirch a comic legend. That is not my point here. My point is, why did they choose to put this art on this book? I don't get it. I like George Perez. Love George Perez. Tons of art. But unfortunately, he's gone. We don't need to start grabbing anything we can find that he drew and make a cover out of it for no good reason. This is a Spider-Man annual. Why do we have Classic Wolverine on the cover here? Granted, I didn't read the whole thing about what's inside the guts of this book, but unless Classic Wolverine is in this book, it makes no sense to have this on the cover, let alone have a 1 in 50 incentive version of it to go along with it. Don't make no sense. Apart from the fact that it looks like an old Sears portrait that you would get down for your parents, when you were a kid, like, oh, this is the family photo or the kid's photo. Let's put them all together in the portraits. I don't know. I don't get it. So I don't understand it. So that's why it's in the WTF section. Yeah, granted, I could have put it in the not great section, but I don't, like I said, I'm not trying to say it's bad art. That's not the point. I just don't understand its purpose. But what I do think is not great is the few books we're going to be getting related to Loki's return. We're going to get Miss Minutes just randomly thrown on the covers to promote Loki season 2. I mean, I get the sense that you want to promote Loki season 2, but do we really need multiple Miss Minutes covers? Doesn't that kind of take away a little bit of the cachet and the fun of those original covers to have more coming your way? I mean, this is the Astonishing Iceman #1. Apart from, why do we need an Iceman solo? But whatever. Here's one. And guess what? If you like this, you're getting 7 more. 7 more Miss Minutes covers coming our way. I don't know. So I just think it's not great. Tell me if I'm wrong. You can disagree and you can love it. You can be like, I love Miss Minutes. She's my favorite little animated clock on screen. I don't know. The one from Beauty and the Beast might be better. That said, let's get into one of our normal sections. Let's get into later prints. I don't want to make this a 40-minute show. It probably will end up being 30, 40 minutes anyway, but we'll see where it goes. We're already 10 minutes in. Later printings. So we're going to start off the later printings with the facsimiles, because we are getting another facsimile. This time out, we're getting the first Lobo in Omega Man #3. Facsimile reprint. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have the original. Not that it's super duper expensive. You can usually find these. I found these a couple of times over the years. In fact, I got one and I think I got a 9/8 still sitting around here somewhere. I just got it graded. Like I bought it raw for like 20 or 25 bucks. I got it graded. Anyway, facsimile for $4. If you don't have it, you want it, fine. I get it. But for whatever reason, you want to pay $1 more for this reprint. And again, it's a reprint because it's facsimile. If you want to pay $1 more, well, I can't show it here. This is a shiny foil version of it. That's $4.99. You can see it on the top corner. Now, the picture I have, this is the cover, but I can't show you how it's going to be shiny. But if you want a shiny one, you can have a shiny one for $1 more. Because, yeah, it's $4.99. So if you're into it, go for it. You know my feelings on DC foil, so you can bet I'm not buying it. But I don't need either, because like I said, I got the original anyway, so I don't need to buy the reprint. But I get it. If you want a reprint, you could do a lot worse. $4 ain't terrible. Even $5 is not too bad out of your pocket. I just don't know the need, because I know a lot of you are going to buy both. Because, well, I need the foil one too. That's where they start getting you. You know, and all of a sudden you're $10 in for 2 reprints of a book. Anyway, let's look at what else we got. We also have a second print coming for this Swan Songs Image book. I don't know what's going on with this one. Like, I haven't read it, but I've told you, Image has not been overprinting with their new #1s and etc. So if things get a little bit popular, they finally sell out, they'll do a later printing. And that's what we got going on here. So we got a second print coming for Swan Songs #1. If it's a good series, let me know. Maybe I'll go check it out. But otherwise, I don't know anything about this book, apart from it's an Image second print. Along with World Tree. Getting tired of World Tree a little bit. Well, definitely getting tired of these reprints. Not reprints. Well, they are reprints, but the later printings. But issue 3 is getting a second print. Issue 2 is getting a third print. And issue 1 is getting a fourth print. All of which coming out this week. Whew. I don't guess we need all of those. I don't know if I need it, but they're there. If you didn't get the plethora of other versions and copies of those other books, here's your chance to get some more printings. I know a lot of people start thinking maybe it'll be like Something Is Killing the Children, all of those second prints and third prints, fourth, fifths, etc. I doubt it. I doubt that's going to hit again like that. It might, but I don't know if the collectability is going to be there for these World Tree later prints. I just don't see it. I could be wrong, but just go slow. Go slow with your wallets. That's all. Yep. As you can guess, we're going to get into some stuff that I'm also not a fan of. I like this title. I'm going to preface this. I like this book so far. Read the first 2 issues. I like it both. I like where they're going. I'm interested. Hulk #1 probably warrants a second print. That's fine. You know what I'm getting to that I don't like. An incentive. Second print, 1 in 25. We do not need this, but we're getting it anyway. It's the Gleason Gamma cover, or whatever the heck they were calling it. There were a couple of different versions of this already. There was the regular one's green with trade dress. Then there's a virgin version green. There's also a purple version that's for something else. Now we've got this weird, sketchy, orangish, kind of sepia-toned one. So that's what you're getting for your second print, 1 in 25, which, as you might guess, is pre-selling for above ratio. Shoot, did I not do this properly? All right, there, I quickly fixed it. With a little bit of editing magic, you guys don't know the difference. But here we go. It is pre-selling for a little bit above ratio, $30 to $50. And the asking price is actually not terrible at $40. Maybe you guys have been listening. Maybe you're taking it easy on buying these second print 1 in 25s. Maybe. And once you guys stop, stores will stop ordering so many to qualify so they can sell them at the super high premium, and then we'll stop seeing them. That's the hope. But while this one might have been a small victory for me and the price coming down a little bit, the next one we have another second print. Wonder Woman 800. This is a pretty cool cover. I kind of like it. There was a foil version, virgin version on the original. So this is a trade dress. They just reused the art. So it's a little bit different. This is the regular, but it doesn't matter because we have a 1 in 25 for this one as well. Virgin version of what was already just a limited trade dress to begin with. So I don't really see a big difference between the two. But if for some reason people care, the first appearance of Trinity, but this is the reprint. This is the second print of it. I don't know. Whatever reason, pre-sales are already $75, $80, and that's what they're asking for too. $75 to $85 on this 1 in 25 second print. So while the Hulk may have been coming back the right way, this is driving things back the wrong way. So until people stop buying these, we're not going to stop seeing them. But I can hope. I can hope. All right, moving on. I don't want to harp on that point again. They're out there. So if you want to get them at your shop, see if you can quick flip them, go ahead. I just once again advise, don't go over investing in these. Rarity alone does not equal value, even if they are rare, which could be debatable these days as we don't have any solid print run numbers any longer. So a lot of this is going to be a guessing game going forward. But with that, let's get into the homage section because I do got a few. Not a ton, only a couple this week. Pretty fun. Gargoyles. Again, Dynamite, so many covers, but I kind of like that they did the Marvel border, the anniversary border there. I just picked Captain America as just an example. AOA will be happy to see that one. But just an example, the Marvel border, but done with Gargoyles. Kind of fun. Cover price book. You can go get a copy if you want it. One of the plethora of options for Gargoyles number 8. Homage cover by Villalobos, who has been killing it lately with these covers. This is an homage to Avengers 186. It took me a little while to figure it out because they don't tell you what's an homage to, but once you start breaking it down and looking at it, you can see with the bands and everything, different angle, etc. Not the same exact characters, but this is what they're going for, especially when you see the lineup down the left side there. So the Vision, Cap, Vision, Iron Man, Cap, etc. So looks like an homage to 186. Pretty cool. I like it, but I also like Villalobos. So cover price version. This is the one I'm probably going to get for my Scarlet Witch number 7. We also have another weird what if dark book. This is Dark Venom. For whatever reason, Venom is infecting the Thing. So we are getting this monster redone. Also, not a bad homage if you look at it. Pretty cool, right? I don't know if I need to get this book, though. Just not interested in these weird what ifs. They just, I don't know. I've never been a huge what if fan, but I don't know, especially these late ones. It's just, really? Just the Thing is Venom? All right. We got Black Widow as Venom in not the real book, in the regular title. So do we really need these what ifs too? They're just going to do this all eventually. But moving on. Conan is back. Conan is back in publishing, this time over at Titan. So Titan, I think, has the publishing rights now. But I kind of like the callback to the original Marvel, right? It's not in 1-for-1 exact pose, but you see the breakdown, new first time in comic book form, all of that with the trade dress. Pretty cool. Yeah, if you're into it, get this Conan homage from Titan. Once again, I had to put these in my sort of question mark because I'm not entirely sure. You guys have been helpful. You gave me that Carrie homage there, I think, on the Ribbon Queen, etc. So I'll ask for your help again because I don't know what they are. But Sins of the Salton Sea. This kind of was giving me like a North by Northwest, almost like a Hitchcock vibe. I was getting a Hitchcock vibe out of the Sins of Salton Sea homage cover here, but I don't know what it's for. So if you know, put it in the comments down below or in the live chat when you're going to be chatting with me later. Or if you know this one, the Peacemaker book. Not sure. Peacemaker Tries Hard, number 4, Triferno. I hear that Triferno. I'm thinking Towering Inferno. It's kind of close with the towering thing in the back, but it's not exact. The perspective of it gives me like an Escape from New York kind of vibe, but I'm not entirely sure if it really fits that either. But going down in a blaze of glory, once again, calls back to Towering Inferno, but I couldn't find a Towering Inferno poster that actually matched 1-for-1, so I was not sure. So if you do know what this is exactly a 1-for-1 match of, let me know. Plus, Towering Inferno doesn't fit the vibe of the 80s action that we were getting before with like the Commando and Lethal Weapon, etc. So I don't know. I don't know. But if you know, let me know. As we've had over the last couple of weeks and maybe another week or two, because I think the series is going to be wrapping up soon. Creepy covers for Night Terrors, mostly for Night Terrors, because Night Terrors has made DC all dark for the last couple months. So let's see here what we got. Starting off with Batman, #2. Pretty creepy Dark Knight with all those toothy tendrils coming out of his mouth. Looks like a Venus flytrap. I don't know. It is kind of creepy. So I'll give you that. Pretty cool cover. There's a 1 in 50 on this book as well, with, again, kind of calling back to that Nightwing book that I like too, with the bats coming out of his mouth. It's creepy seeing the bats coming out of his mouth, but it's a 1 in 50. It's actually selling below ratio, like around half ratio, like 30 bucks, 20 bucks. I've seen sales for, so not moving at a premium, so nothing to report as far as pricing goes, but cover's still kind of cool. This one weirds me out because of the eyes. The Poison Ivy book, like those eyes are spooky as hell. And then you get into the weird little caterpillar head on the other thing, but those eyes are just really disconcerting. I don't know. They're off. It's unsettling. But Night Terrors 2 for Poison Ivy. This regular cover price version, you can go and get that. Just like you can get this Joker, which, again, kind of fun, creepy, spooky, not terribly scary or anything, but yeah, kind of cool. This one's also not scary, but it's kind of fun, almost like this is a Ben Oliver, a Ryan Brown, sorry. It's a Ryan Brown cover with the teddy bears coming out of his mouth. It's like the bats, but done silly. I don't know, but it's still put in this section because it is still a little bit creepy. But I like it. This art is obviously, it's well done. Ryan Brown, again, underrated. But the one book that I think I've seen moving at a premium a bit for these Night Terrors books this week was the Ravager one. Well, Ravager 2, the 1 in 25 to be in particular, because the regular book, not so much. But this Natalie Sanders, gorgeous cover. It is. And it has been selling. Double ratio or so. Look, there's 25 and then best offer on 65. Asking prices $60 to $70 for this 1 in 25 already. So we'll see if this one holds. I feel like this one might hold around that double ratio mark as we get through this week, and it'll probably sneak its way into the top 10 and 10 from this list. But yeah, who knows for certain? We're probably going to see more copies hit the market. We'll probably see some sales over the next couple of days that are much less than ratio. Probably see a $15 sale, a ratio sale here or there, maybe some 30s and 40s. But we'll see if it maintains that, $50, $60 kind of price, which it might. It might, but we'll see. Moving on, we do have non-DC related. We have Good Deeds. Scott Snyder presents Dark Spaces. So this is just a creepy cover from IDW here. Like a swampy body rotting away with this mist coming out of the mouth. It is. It's a little creepy, so it fits. Along with this other cover from Good Deeds with the hands and the half-formed dead, or I don't even know if it's dead, but the half-formed bird in the hands. That's just, ugh, I don't like it. But it's creepy, so that's why it's here. Regular covers, though. We do have some regular covers we can talk about. Some random stuff, it might seem. Like, okay. Jumping around. Amazing Spider-Man annual. This is a pretty cool Black Cat cover. So this is the one I'm going to try to get for my Amazing Spider-Man annual. It's coming out. The other covers, not so much. But this one, I like it. We're getting another Mark Brooks corner box, this time for X-Men 25. I talked about this book on Tack Show last week in our new little look ahead. It was like the teaser for this. We're getting that weird Shadow Cat with the K. She's a ninja in this book. I didn't put that cover in here because, well, we don't need it. Got the Mark Brooks as well as the Alex Ross. So we're getting the Alex Ross, who is doing the homage to the old Jim Lee classic #1. There are 3 more coming our way. So this is the first, and then the next 3 coming, which will obviously build out that gatefold, image that you are more than familiar with. But Alex Ross style. I like it. I'm interested. I'm getting them. So I'm a sucker for Jim Lee. I also like Alex Ross, so why not? What else we got? Black Cloak, another Tula Lote. I just like this. This is a pretty cool image. I haven't been reading this title, so I don't know what's been going on in it, but I do believe I have a couple of them. I don't know if I'm getting it consistently through issue 6, but I do know I haven't gotten a couple of issues. I did get a couple of issues in those early ones, so might have to do some catching up to see what's going on in this title, but the cover is pretty solid. Fire and Ice. I don't know if I need this, but it's pretty cool covers. Willingham, Manco doing another Dynamite book. So it's Dynamite. So there's a lot of covers. So I'm pointing it out because I do like a couple of these. This is a Bill Sienkiewicz. Pretty cool. There is also a pretty cool, I forget who did this one. I'm sorry, I can't remember the artist's name on this one, but this is also a nice one. Which is a callback to and then we do have the movie poster version. So that old like heavy metal style animated like feature from 1983 or something like that. There is a movie poster version here, as you can see. Bang. Pretty cool, right? Frazetta, by the way. So if you're into it, you can get them. It's just Dynamite. There's so many, so many. Weirdly, this was a Kickstarter book that I had on my Kickstarter Roundup, Kickstarter Corner show just a little while ago because I thought the art was cool. Now, Fearless Dawn #1, the one shot, cold, is being released in the general stores. So if you dig it, go get it. I don't know. I just think the art on this cover is pretty awesome. So I was happy to see it. Like, oh, look, here it is. Regular shop's going to get it. And that'll take us to our final section, incentives. Incentives. Let's see what we got here. Again, it's a little bit shorter this week than I think last week, but we still got quite a few things to keep an eye on, including more Venomverse stuff. I get lost. There's Death of Venomverse, Extreme Venomverse, Edge of Enter. Oh no, who knows? But Death of the Venomverse is our current one, I guess. And with that, we got a new #1 to start off this little mini, but pretty cool. The Lotto on this 1 in 10. So this is only 1 in 10. So this is going to be part of a connecting cover. It's going to be a pretty sweet connecting cover with a lot of symbiotes on it. So here's our start. 1 in 10. There is also a Virgin version 1 in 50 to keep an eye out for as well. It's only really selling for, and both of these are only selling for like ratio and a little bit less. Like that 1 in 10 is selling for like $8. And even this 1 in 50 is really only selling for like 40. So they're under ratio. So I don't have pricing info for you because they're not moving at a premium. So I'm not going to bother. I'll just give you a general sense of what they're doing. Still pretty cool. If you're interested, again, part 1 of, I think, a 4-part connecting thing by the time we're done. That What If book that I had the thing on earlier also has a 1 in 50. This is a scan cover. Pretty detailed, pretty cool. This 1 in 50 is already, right around that ratio mark. Look, $45, $50 on those pre-sales, but the asks are a bit higher. 100, 120. Maybe they're fishing. We'll see if it starts moving for any of those asking prices, but it has hit the ratio mark at least with a couple of pre-sales. We'll keep an eye on it and see what it actually does once it hits shelves. So we'll see if this one makes the list when we get to that top 10 and 10 time. Now, also on the Tax Show last week, I mentioned this Magneto book and this Magneto cover because I like it. It's Greg Land. It's pretty cool, solid. It reminds me of that X-Men card for Magneto, but this obviously has the classic Uncanny 200 outfit, the purple M, and etc. Purple outfit with the M. Obviously, the M is not purple, but you know what I was saying. 1 in 50, though, on this. Pretty cool. And while I was trying to check for pre-sales, I couldn't find any actually sold. There are a couple listed, and they are asking for, well, there's one under asking about 40, but there are a couple asking about $100. So that's why I want to watch it and see what the actual price is going to be on this thing. I feel like it's going to be more around that 40, and I don't think we're going to see any $100 sales on this, but you never know. You never know. Just want to keep an eye on it. We're getting there. We're getting there. 1 in 50 as well for Scarlet Witch #7. Why'd they kicked it up to a 1 in 50 when we've had 1 in 25s basically throughout the start of the series? I don't know, but they moved this one up to a 1 in 50. Pretty nice cover. I like it, but the prices probably priced me out. If it was 1 in 25, I could probably try to fish for one for like 15 or 20. That I might be into. 40, 60, $70 sales already on this 1 in 50 with asks of 60, 115, 145. Well, we'll see if it reaches that. But even those $70 sales have this trending on an upward upward trajectory. So we'll see actually what happens over the week with this 1 in 50. I don't expect a lot of sales, but we'll see what happens as this thing plays out. But 1 in 50 for Scarlet Witch number 7 is interesting. And this is Megan Hetrick did this cover, I believe. Moving on, we have a 1 in 50 for another Star Wars title, or Star Trek title, Star Trek Defiant. I don't know anything about Star Trek. I know that's I can't even think of their names. Not Kurgan. Klingon. It's a Klingon weapon. That's that thingy. But this is David Aja. Aha. AJA. I like it. It's pretty cool for the RI for 1 in 50. This thing already pre-sales $50, $65. So we're hitting ratio and a little bit above asking price. Well, there's one up for $100. See if it hits it. We'll keep an eye on it. This could be a case where it's the artist, not so much the title. So the artist might help sell this book, including, well, I don't like I like the trade dress. The trade dress is balanced here. But they're giving us a 1 in 100 virgin version, which to me is unbalanced with all that empty space. But there it is. Pre-sale for the 1 in 100, $130 already on one of these. That was July 26th. So that was just a few days ago, 5 days ago. And then there's an ask of $250 out there. But then again, I don't know how many are going to be up for this. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. But I don't know about this one. I prefer with the trade dress, but this one could be much, much tougher because I don't know how many people are ordering 100 copies of this Star Trek book. Though there probably are more people than you expect ordering 100 copies of the Star Wars Dark Droids book. So don't let this one fool you. So I like the 3PO. Pretty cool. It's a virgin version, etc. But look at some of these sales already. Pre-sales for this already 150, 170. Best offer of $200. Well above the 1 to 100 ratio. People have been ordering these of late, the 1 in 100s. They're copies. And if there's any store exclusives, they've got copies. They'll be out there. But still, asks $150, $160, $270. We'll see what happens. Just because they're asking it doesn't mean that's what it's going to sell for, but that's what's out there right now, which is why it's on the watch list so I can see what happens because I'm interested. I'm sure you're interested. That's why you're watching this show. So we'll see how this plays out over the week. But with that, that's my last book for you. That's all I got. Thank you for bearing with me with my summer schedule being a little off. I appreciate the support. Please keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Like, subscribe, comment down below, all that good stuff. I'll be back with some more content and hopefully have your Chasing Ghosts episode coming your way tomorrow night at hopefully 9 p.m. This one, we'll see what time I get done. But thank you again, and I'll see you all later with some more content. All right, bye.